Hi, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Now, the fun show hosted by me, Curtis P. Today we're kicking the entire show off talking about a very interesting story coming from across the pond. That being the fact that a 15-year-old recently committed a armed robbery. Yes, a 15-year-old from Liverpool actually robbed the Barclays Bank on Friday, but the funny thing, he only stole £2,000. Which for me, if you're gonna rob a bank, at least take a little bit more money. The teen said he actually staked out the bank for 2 days before he actually committed the robbery. When asked why target the bank, he simply said, well, because it has the most money. Which, yes, is a logical thing, though you only took £2,000, which is like, gah. After the robbery, he took the money home, and later his mother actually found it while cleaning his room. Which is another sign, hey kids, clean your own room, then she won't find this. Though in this circumstance, it was a good thing because when she did find it, she reported him because that's the lawful thing to do. The teen was then brought to court, of course, because that's what happens next. The teen then pleaded to 2 accounts to robbery and 1 account of possessing an intimidating weapon. The district judge went on to say, it's an armed robbery, but not in the conventional sense most people would recognize. It's a bizarre, surreal case of a young man almost acting like a real-life action video game. Nevertheless, it was a robbery. The judge then later added that the crime was motivated by greed and immaturity and influenced by peers or what he was watching or playing. Meaning it comes down to the age-old thing of video games are bad. Because of course, logically thinking human beings can't distinct the two apart. Video game, real life. You can kill someone in a video game, it's fine. Probably shouldn't do it in real life. They're 2 different things. So to wrap this story up, don't rob a bank. Play video games, but don't do what's in the video games in real life. It's pretty simple. Next, let's jump to Russia because they are my favorite country in the world right now. Kidding, they're not really. I love you if you're from Russia, love you and you're watching the show, but your country's a little messed up right now. That being because Elton John, well, he's not welcome in Russia because I think you can kind of figure it out. A Russian parent group actually asked President Putin to cancel Elton John's planned concert, simply because he intends to violate the ban on homosexual propaganda. Again, being the fact that if you live in Russia and you're watching this right now and I say it's okay to be gay, you can do it, and you just happen to be under the age of 18, I just broke the law. I think that's like the 3rd or 4th time I've done it on the show. In the letter to Putin, it stated, the singer intends to come out and support the local sodomites and break the current Russian law directed at protecting children. Just another instance of Russian oppression against the LGBT community. This just adding to the multitude of other things happening in Russia because of this law, one of which being the large boycott of Russia hosting the 2014 Winter Games. When Sir Elton John was asked about this, he said he just wanted to perform in Russia to support the gay community. As a gay man, I can't leave those people on their own without going over there and supporting them. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've got to go. Elton John was scheduled to perform on December 6th in Moscow. Of course, I will continue to follow this because you know something interesting is going to happen when December 6th actually rolls around. Popping back to North America here, it looks like the US Air Force is actually converting old fighter jets, that being F-16s, into drones. Yes, that's right, 126 F-16s are actually being converted into what the US government calls unmanned aerial targets, or what I would classify as a drone. These drones are actually capable of reaching supersonic speeds and performing a series of simulated maneuvers that, when a human pilot's actually in the cockpit, could not be done, simply due to the fact of the G-forces and everything else. And after all that's done, they're actually able to return to base and land all without a pilot. Of course, though the pilot is on the ground in like a cockpit himself, just not in the plane. The idea behind converting these F-16s into drones is simply for target practice for other jet fighters. Meaning that if you're in training, you will go up in your jet, this unmanned drone will be up there, and then you get to shoot it down. And since there's no pilot in the other plane, it's actually safe, though of course you are blowing up another jet, so probably not totally safe. So besides target practice, no other news has been released about this, but keep in mind these are still fully functioning jet fighters that are capable of supersonic speeds and capable of actually delivering a payload of some sort of weapon to a remote location. So, you know, it could be used for some bad things, or if you classify that as good, that's awesome, but it's an interesting situation. And last in the news today, let's jump into technology type news because BBM, yes! BlackBerry Messenger, I'm gonna talk about it today. BBM for iOS and Android was expected to launch last week, but actually came with a little bit of a hiccup. It was supposed to hit the Google Play Store and the iOS App Store last week, but it leaked out for Android. And when over 1 million Android users actually loaded it onto their devices, it actually crashed the BlackBerry servers. They just couldn't handle this many people. Because let's face the fact, they haven't seen 1 million continuous users since like 2006. I'm kidding, calm down. I know there are actual BlackBerry users still around. But BlackBerry has actually pushed the launch back until they can deal with the influx of users. Unfortunately, just another stumble for the BlackBerry company among the falling stock prices, the major layoffs they're having across their company, and of course the poor sales of their new smartphones. So hopefully something good comes from BlackBerry because it is a Canadian company. I kind of root for it, but at the same time, I think their time has come and gone. So jumping back to the very first topic of the day, do you think video games are to blame for this kid actually robbing a bank? Or does it come down to bad parenting or something else? You can let me know in the comment section down below. Or you can always let me know on my Facebook page, Twitter account, or of course on Google+. Links to all that and the other topics I talked about in today's episode in the description down below. Check out all the great links down there. Of course, if you enjoyed today's show, why not hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe even share the show with your friends. Until tomorrow, I'm Curtis Parody, and that's what's happening now.